Namaste, Life Fit friends. Thank you for joining me today as we review how to use a yoga strap for a postural support. We sometimes call this a strap harness as it holds the upper body in good posture alignment and how that can support our practice on and off the mat. Let us begin. I have a long yoga strap and I tend to suggest an 8 to 10 foot strap. And so mine is a little bit colorful just to have contrast as you hold it up without a loop, to hold it maybe at its center and to aim that center just underneath the shoulder blades. So as you pin the shoulder blades, the idea now is to take each side over your shoulder. And as you take each side over your shoulder, to cross the straps back behind. And then catch them. And as you bring the straps back around to the front, that is then our opportunity to create the security of the bind with the buckle. And so I have a D-ring strap and I went through 2 D-rings and out through 1. So it looks like this. I went through 2 and out through 1. And then I can cinch it up to support this reminder to draw the shoulder blades down and back. And there are many benefits to this support. Number one, if I were to use it in my practice, it informs me where habits sort of creep in to movement, and maybe I'll go to this rounded position and how to stay open. Secondly, it helps to press into the tightness that comes from habitual rounding tasks in front of us all day long. And then it releases those tight areas. So you may find other benefits. Let us begin with a short practice. You are welcome to wear this around at work, around your house. My first teacher who introduced this suggested that we wear it for a couple of hours with regularity and do our work at home and catch ourselves in the habits and then begin to erase them just from this reminder. So thank you, Adil, and let us continue. All right. So at first, I'm going to stand beside a chair. The chair is optional, and find a nice wide stance. Feet turned somewhat out, bending in the knees, taking the arms wide in this W position in this goddess pose, and just adding a little bit of rotation, moving with breath. Exhale to rotate, inhale to come to center, move at your own pace. Notice this neutral positioning of shoulders down and back. And then what happens when we ask for rotation? What participates? And how do our shoulders really participate in rotation? Nice. Take the arms high, straighten the legs. And when the arms reach high, similar to down dog or warrior 3 or warrior 1, the shoulder blades go with us. As you exhale, bend in your knees and pull the elbows down. Pull them back, turn the palms in. And then let's move with those 2 endpoints. I want to straighten everything out. Everything reaches away from the midline, and I want to pull everything in. Try a few of these repetitions looking up. And try a few repetitions looking ahead. Inhaling as the ribcage expands, exhaling as you pull into it, and then notice what happens when you look down. Right? All of those unique nuances to your movement, your anatomy. Next, I want to rest my hand at the chair, turn the foot there completely out, turn the back foot somewhat in, and step into the side fold so that we're warming up to a little bit of triangle pose. I want to lengthen as if I'm being pulled over the chair. The chair is there to hold on to if you need, if you wish. And then as you rest your hand, rest your arm, bear down, reach ahead, and take the other arm up. We're going to add a little bit of rotation. We're going to turn the entire upper body to look down, and we're going to move that arm and that rotation as a unit. You can try it this way as well. My hand is at my shoulder, and I have a little bit of a wing. And then you can try it with the arm back behind, and I'm going to suggest to slide your arm as far as you can. If you can hook the hip, please do, but this is your practice. And turn your head and look up, and then turn your head and look down. Turn your head and look up. Turn the ribcage toward the ceiling, coil the hip under, throw the kneecaps up, and just feel what your triangle pose calls on you to do, the actions within the alignment. As you turn your head to look down, you are welcome to make any micro adjustments. You can rest your arm against the back of the chair. You can come into a deeper fold and a deeper use of the bottom hand into the chair. Yeah? We'll stay one more breath. As you inhale, come upright. As you exhale, bend in the front knee and reach both arms so that we find adding a little bit of familiar poses to just add value to the residue of the work in this beautiful postural reminder. Walk or hop your feet in, and let's do the other side. I'm going to move my chair. You're welcome to simply turn around. And as we step the feet wide, the front foot turns out. Think about how you used the surface below before. Turn the back foot in. And already we might have a little bit of a side fold, shifting the pelvis away from the front foot, taking the arms wide and lengthening, moving with breath to come and go, warming up to what the shape of triangle asks from us, and in turn provides in its resilience building. Wonderful. As you find your way, similar to where you had been on the other side, keep reaching. Take the other arm up. Exhale, turn and rotate. The upper body moves as a unit. And then try that rotation from a shorter wing. Exhale and turn, adjust any way that you need. And then sliding the arm back behind. Turning the head to look up. Turning the head to look down. Turning the head to look up. Drawing the kneecaps back, turning the rib cage. And if what you did on the other side was to shift, where is that front hand? How are you using it? Aim for that balance in your practice to put it into play here. We'll stay one more breath. And you're welcome to turn and look down, and again, turn and look up. Beautiful. Firming the legs, exhale. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, bend in the front knee. Find that warrior two. Use what is in your practice space right now. I have this wall. It would be very easy to push into the wall and get something more out of it. Find your way into your practice. We'll stay one more breath. And then we'll slowly bring it in. You are welcome to walk or hop your feet back to center. Nice. We'll turn toward the chair now. And as we do, we're going to practice something that's a little bit functional. Just this beautiful warrior one and all the ways that it supports tasks of everyday living. right? Bending and getting things and then coming up and being open. So at first, I'm giving us a chance to push into the chair. And despite the fact that our arms are in front, and it tells us if we have the habit of collapsing in, that we can keep good posture when those muscles are engaged. Lift the back heel, and the challenge comes to be wiggling the back leg further so that we won't make it to the floor, but that we come and go from the ankle while the hands push. Now, I can think about the back leg and take the arm that belongs to the back leg and lift it up. I'm lifting the shoulder blade on that side. And how the limbs create and refine what happens in the spine as far as potential freedom and movement and resilience comes from practicing movement in so many angles, as many as we can. Put both hands back at the chair, keep pushing, drop in the back knee any amount, straighten the back leg. And as you repeat that part, as you have the steadiness and the slight isometric work that comes from the chair, I'm going to ask you to come halfway down from what you've practiced so far and try not to bob back up, but to straighten that front leg and then go between those two places. I want to bend that knee and straighten that leg and bend that knee and straighten that leg. And as you make this familiar practice, you can aim a little bit lower as your body begins to respond with ease. So you build that stamina, the building stability while you work on mobility and balance. Step the back leg to the front leg. Let's do all of that on the other side. I'm going to find the distance that allows me a comfortable push. I'm going to wiggle the back leg further so I can't drop the heel. And I want to push with my hands. Very nice. And come and go. I want to drop the heel and lift the heel, any amount. And then the arm that belongs to the back leg gets to lift. I'm creating space through that side of the body. The arm reaches away from the back heel. The shoulder blade that belongs to the top arm lifts. The shoulder blade that belongs to the bottom arm slides down. And we have a number of ways to keep mind on the body and just notice what we notice. When you're ready, place your hands back on the chair and consider bending in the back knee, straightening the back leg, just feeling what is it like on this side. And then somewhere halfway in that pattern, pause and work from this hip opening, opening the back of the knee, reaching into the back heel. Very nice. And again, as you find your way to feeling comfortable with more, you can try this from a lower position. Very nice. Sliding the back leg to the front leg, stepping toward the chair, pressing the hands back, and finding this, again, open upper body posture shape that we find in many poses, many poses. Lifting the sternum, sliding the shoulder blades down and back. As you keep your hands resting at the back of the chair, step comfortably away, and then walk your feet around to one side. So no matter the practice, I try to infuse the variety of the sequence with all the ways that the spine is designed to move. Whether you turned 45 degrees or 90 degrees in the lower body, the idea is to have your hip points pointing in the same direction as your feet and invite the upper body to the rotation. Sliding the back hand down the side of the chair, the arm coming across gets to pull, the hand from behind gets to push forward, and then we can lift the rib cage and bring attention to how the spine participates in a twist from the lower lumbar area up into the thoracic and cervical spine. You can turn your head and look over the shoulder and behind. We can turn the head and look in the opposite direction. And then slowly release. Simply turn around. You can walk your feet around to the other side. I love to stay with students. I love to watch movement. Your movement inspires me, just seeing your strength and your open mind and your willingness and your beautiful movement patterns. So again, I'm turning my hip points in the same direction as my toes. I'm lifting the ribs and turning the upper body toward the chair and being aware that one hand pushes, the other one pulls. I could keep my head square with my shoulders. That's a nice neutral place for the neck. I could slide the back hand down and use it to push. So I have a more open front of the shoulder. Yeah, so the biceps lengthen and the pectoralis is a little bit more lengthened in its participation. And then the option to turn the head and look over the shoulder and behind. And then to turn the head and look in the opposite direction, stay as long as you wish. Repeat with as many rounds, moving with breath. And as you come back to center, let us remove the harness just to notice from this short practice, what is the residue of the effect of not just the use of the strap this way, but the attention that it draws to this heart opening position. So bring your hands to your heart. Take them behind you and clasp them together. Drop your gaze. You're welcome to stand or to sit, but bring attention to your breath. Notice the spaciousness. Notice the awareness, your mind on your body, the sensations, the residue of this practice. May this not just be an exercise of physical improvement for posture. Bring your hands to your heart. May you find the reminder of the importance of consistency with movement and awareness in all the ways that it pulls us into life. It helps us to know ourselves and to recognize that we are intricately designed, that gratitude practice that springs us into the world. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.